Hey guys, how you doing? We're on level 3. Look at that, level 3. Which means we can still do Circus still at home for now, guys. Still Circus at home for now. But we can still do Circus, right? That's what we're going to do. So Kids Circus here today for the next 40 odd minutes with me, Aidin, as always. Again, welcome. We're still going to continue with our handstands. Of course, we're going to continue with our handstands. They're pretty good. But I also want to show you guys something new. So let's go over the agenda for today, right? See what's gonna happen. First up, as is always the case, we're gonna do a bit of a warm up, a little bit of shaking, a little bit of flopping around, a little bit of balance work in that one. Should be good fun. Do some handstands, of course, a little bit of handstands, and we're also gonna show you guys chair stands. Because if you're doing handstands pretty well, your chair stand should be a breeze. And for that, we'll be careful. It depends on what sort of space you've got, but there's no reason why you couldn't do it. Again, depending on space. Be sensible, guys. If you don't have the space for this, don't do it. I'm going to do some worms. Those of you who have been in my classes at the hub know how much I like worms and some silly walks as a bit of a creative challenge. We'll have time for a little bit of juggling, not a ton, but we'll do a little bit as well. And then we'll do a bit of a stretch down. Focus on getting some actual flexibility work going, which is always good. So just going over what you need to have for this class, you want to have some space, enough space to do your handstands, do a bit of a movement. You're going to want that by a wall as well. Walls are your best friends for handstands. You're going to want a sturdy chair. You don't want anything that's going to be wobbly, and you want the legs going straight down, not just out at an angle like a stool. You want a nice solid chair, nothing that's going to fall out from under you. Some cushions and pillows if you're worried about falling over or smacking yourself on the ground during some worms. Absolutely go get some of those. And of course, some juggling balls, or if you don't have juggling balls, the usual alternatives are some rolled up socks, some fruit if you're okay with eating it after you've dropped it a lot, or any other round. Tennis balls are great, man. If you've got some tennis balls, that'd be pretty good. So, but if you don't, just juggling balls are fine, or rolled up socks. Or just not eggs. Don't juggle eggs. That goes badly, usually. But I thought we'd just start. I'm just going to start with a little bit of some shaking and rolling. And you're going to stand up on your own 2 feet. Make sure they're yours, not someone else's. A little bit wide and width. I'm just going to go for a little bit of a wobble with our legs around, is all. So I'm dropping my knees in, dropping them out and around. I can come up onto my toes. I'm just going to wobble it. Upper body doesn't want to move too much. It's just following where your legs take you. They can go forward, they can go behind, they can go all the way to the side, maybe go out to the opposite side, maybe they both come in. Just a little bit of a wobble. And then we're going to keep our legs locked, not fully locked, they can move, but this time our direction is going to be driven by our hips. Our hips can they go around a circle, maybe they just go forward and back, just side to side, just across and diagonal, or just like in a half moon. They're just driving and bringing you around wherever your hips want to go. Maybe they want to go down, maybe they want to go up. Just going everywhere they want to go. And then we're going to hold that there. We use our ribs, this part of our body here. That's going to go and drive us up and around and down. It's just kind of rolling around everywhere. Maybe it twists. Maybe it goes up. Maybe it goes down. Maybe it pulls us all around. Our shoulders. And from here it can be either shoulder. One shoulder might pull, the other might pull it away. And they're just leading and pulling. So it's like someone's got strings stuck in your shoulders and they're pulling that. And that's pulling wherever you go. Maybe it's around, maybe it's up, but then maybe the other way. And it just keeps going around. You can move your feet. You don't have to stay locked. It's always just pulling you with your shoulders. Maybe it's going to switch shoulders. Alright, 2 more. Our next one's going to be our head. Be gentle with this, don't run it into a wall or a light or anything, but your head's going to slowly, and start slow guys, make your neck be okay with this, but it's going to be moving you up and around and wherever it wants to go. Someone's just grabbed your head and is pulling it where it wants to be going. All the way around. You can stop, do a little bit of a jump. Shake some of the dizziness if you're getting a little bit dizzy from that, like I was. Last one is it's going to be changing from everywhere in your body. It's going to be pulling from your head, but then suddenly it might switch. It's going to pull from your hand, or then from your knee, or from your little toe. It's going to be pulling from everywhere, and you're going to look ridiculous. Fair warning. But hey, I'm going to look ridiculous, and I've got all of you guys watching me, so that's right. But it's also just fun to try and move. It doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be slow. It's going to be whatever you guys want to be working at. It's just a pull and a movement that's going to change where it is in your body that's getting pulled the whole time. Or it's just going to have you going. Knees? Sure. Your back, maybe. Chest? Head. Maybe it's your tongue. It's just going to alternate everywhere from around and up your bodies. And you're going to reach up, you're going to pull that energy, pull all that energy, you just put it around the room, grab it all, pull it, and then just like pull it into yourself because you're going to want it. Alright, a little bit of a bounce. Alright, we're going to do just a little bit more to get some cardio going, so we're just going to go for really quick, really fast, 30 star jumps. That's all, just 30. Nice and quick, starting now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's halfway, guys. 10 more. Swimming it out. Keep that moving, get your legs moving. Legs are swimming with you. No sense if they go the opposite leg. Alright. Last little bit we're going to do is a little bit of balance. Cheeky bit of balance. So watching me here is I'm going to keep one leg straight and that stays on the ground. My leg's going to be, as it goes forward, I'm going to lean back. As it kicks back, I'm going to go forward. So it's just constantly moving in this kind of, and I really want you to focus on that bottom leg staying grounded and planted. And you can move and pivot at the hips, but this base leg doesn't want to move too much. So it's forwards and backwards. You try to make as much as yourself as long as possible. Try not to fall over. And then we do the other leg, of course. As long and as wide as you can go. Alright. Grab a little bit of water. Do a little bit of abs, a little bit of wrists. Smash out our handstands and then straight into chest stands. Just for our abs, we'll do wrists, we'll do our body lines and handstands. So grab your wrists, give them a bit of a wiggle. Wiggle the other way. Up and down. Around in circles. And this nice slow figure of 8, starting with your thumbs going down and down. Listen to my wrists click. And we go the other way, so you're leading with your pinkies. They're going to come up and up. Hands together, they're going to go to your little milkshake maker or a coconut. Anyone play Coconut Crack as a kid? It's a game I always remember. It's better than Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Moe, in my opinion. You can go the other way. I'm going to turn it into those nice big swimming waves. And the other way, big old roller coasters. Alright, bring it on down to the ground. Making sure our shoulders are stacked above our wrists so we're not leaning back. We're not bent down, it's just nice and straight. We'll do 10 little wrist push-ups, keeping our fingers on the ground, but pushing our hands off. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do another 10. This time we're just lifting our thumbs off and being careful that our elbows are bent. Because if you go like this, I mean, you don't want to be doing this in a handstand. That's very hard. Let's not do that right now. So it's just going to be our thumbs, and it's a tiny little lift. Doesn't need to be huge. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 lifting this side of our hand off. Again, elbows want to stay staying straight and you're still pushing out. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, and 10. And 10 up to the end of our fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Alright. Nice and quick, you're going to find yourself on the wall. We're going to do a quick set of alignment drills, same way we always do for our handstands. Pushing away from the wall, make sure your whole back's tucked and flat. You're really trying to curl your hips under to meet your ribs. So you're trying to squeeze here to here. Keeping your legs pointed, we're just going to hold the shape for 10 seconds. For 10, 9, 8, pushing away, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we start drawing our legs in, keeping our upper body dead still, our lower back still pushing against the ground, and our feet are never leaving. We're going for 5, guys. It's going to be 2, and keep pushing the wall away. Keep your lower back to the ground, keep your hips tucked under. Try and have your whole back flat on the ground the whole time. It's going to be 3, 2 more. Don't forget to push the wall away. And last one. Then we're going to go for our 5 little leg lifts. Again, lower back still on the ground, stomach still pulling in as much as we can, keeping our body nice and flat. So just 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's it. We're going to smash into our handstands. Grab some water if you want, but we're also about to go upside down, so you do you. So all we're going to do for this one today, guys, we're going to do one quick 15-second handstand on the wall to warm our body up. Then we're going to do a couple of kick-ups on the ground, and then we'll move into chair stands, because that's what I really want to get into today. And also, I'm very conscious of time. So, you're going to find your lovely local wall. Again, you can cartwheel up to it if you want to. You're also more than welcome to just walk up to it, depending on what space you have available and what you are comfortable doing. If you have the space to cartwheel but you don't want to cartwheel, don't cartwheel. If you don't have the space to cartwheel but you really want to, probably don't cartwheel either. We're just going to go up, we're going to go for 15 seconds. Close to the wall, our head is facing into the wall, and we're keeping that nice tuck under, so it's always that round. So it's like someone's poking your belly button all the way through to your spine. Here we go, folks. And up. I'm going to hold for 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. It wasn't so bad. Maybe we should start doing 15-second holds instead of 10-second holds the whole time. I think that's a good plan. So we're going to do our kick-ups on the ground. Just going to go for 5 on each leg, nice and quick. Starting on your silly leg, just to give you that good feeling at the end. So you're going to start, let's push, just so you can see where I'm going. I'm going to be starting here. I'm already starting with that same shape that I want to end in my handstand. So once I'm up, I don't have to think about it. I'm already there. Everything's good. My arms are already pushing away, and I'm trying not to let my ribs poke out as I do so. Everything's nice and straight and tucked in. I'm going to go for my nice long lunge, big drive up out of my back leg. 5 times, then swap over to the other leg, another 5 times. Just a float. We're not trying to hold the handstand, we just kick up, maybe stay for a second, and then come down. Here we go, silly leg first. For 1, doesn't have to be for very long, guys. That's 2. That's 3. That's 4. Last one on this leg, make it a good one. And that's 5. A little bit of a shake. Shake your hips if you want. Shake your chest. Shake your knees. And then 5 on the other leg. This should be a good leg. This should feel really, really nice at the end of it. Just 5. And again, just a float. Be up for 1, 2, 3, 4, Last one. Should be your best one. Hopefully it is your best one. Really, really try and make it good. And 5. Cool. That's all we're going to do on handstands, specifically handstands. Okay. But what we are going to do now is some chair stands. So if you want to have some water, delicious, nutritious, great for you, have a lot of it. So chair stands are slightly different. You want to grab your chair. Here's one I prepared earlier. And if you're worried about falling over on this one and you don't have cushions or pillows, or you think the chair might rock, what you can do is if you turn it so it's facing sideways to the wall, because we're interested in this part here. If it's sitting sideways into the wall, if I fall over, I'm just going to fall into the wall. And that's okay, provided, you know, you and the wall are cool. Be nice to your walls, folks. I'll do it this way though, you can see what I'm actually going to do. I'm going to have one hand placed on the side of the chair that's closest to me. My thumb is down on the side. You can have your thumb on the chair if you want, but I like it down here. It gives me a little bit of extra grip. And the same shoulder is going to go just in front of it, up about here on the chair. So there's like 2 spots, my hand and my shoulder. My other hand is going to go on the ground. Tell you what, I just do that so you can actually see what I'm talking about. My other hand's going to be on the ground. It's going to be in line with my shoulder, not with my hand. So it's going to want to not be here. It wants to be a little bit further forward by the chair. If I move slightly forward this way so I don't end up kicking the wall. You're going to be resting your shoulder and hand on the chair. That's what's going to help you up on that side. As you go up, hands on the ground, your bottom arm might not be fully straight because the chair might be a little bit too low, so you might be slightly bent, and that is okay. From here, you can walk up if you want, and then you can push into your tuck and just see what this shape feels like for you. If that's feeling okay, you might want to push up to a straight. But you can just play in tuck if you're worried about motion. And it's okay not to be fully dead straight in this. You can be on a little bit more of an angle. It's more strength to hold, but you're definitely not going to go over. This isn't actually too hard to hold comparatively speaking to a handstand. So if you're feeling good about your handstands, this shouldn't be too hard. But if you are feeling a little bit scared of handstands, this is a good way to progress into being happy upside down. Really, really nice. So have a couple of goes. Again, set it up next to the wall if you're worried about falling over. Set out some cushions and crash mats, and try both sides. Definitely try both sides. It doesn't have to be a slow press. You can do a kick, same way you would normally for a handstand, or you can do the slow press if you're worried about kicking yourself fully over. Just have a couple of goes. So again, hand and shoulder in line. So again, my shoulder's going here, my hand's going here. There is space between them. And this hand is in line with my shoulder, not my hand. Otherwise I've got nothing to stop me from falling over. So hand, shoulders, and I can slowly go to my tuck. Make sure my hips are stacked over my shoulders, and then I can come on up. I don't fully trust the chair right now, it's creaking an awful lot. But if you don't have an adequate chair, just work on your regular handstands. In terms of time, we're fresh out of luck for that. That's all we have time for handstands and chair stands. And put your chair away, we don't need it at the moment. And we're going to go into a little bit of worms. Because I think worms are cool, man. They're one of the, they are the dance move. Right? Right? Am I right? Hopefully a dancer will back me up on this, but I think worms are great. I don't know, we did them a while ago, but we're going to quickly go over the back worm. And then for those of you who are killing the back worm, have a quick look at the forward worm. So to start for your back worm, I'll pull this down a little bit more so you can see what I'm doing. I start on the ground. My hands are under my shoulders. I'm going to push up like I'm going to my cobra. As I push my hips up with my feet, I'm going to bring my chest down behind my hands. Yeah. So if I bring it back down the same place, I don't move anywhere. And you want to move in your worm because worms travel. So I push up. As I push my hips up, my chest comes down behind my hands. And you see I'm not taking my feet off yet? That's fine. I can just come up and let them slide. That's all we want to do. If you're okay with that, As you push with your foot, you want to arch, trying to bring your feet over, lower yourself down chest first, and then roll. So I'm pushing up to a roll. And then from there, I'm already pushing back up. And I can just worm away. But I wouldn't leave you guys. You're too good. That is your basic. And if you're struggling with your worm, think about going into your downward dog, lying your chest behind your hands. Your hands need to end up being in front of you. That's how you're going to move. And then slowly lower down. Then do it with one leg. So I'm here. I push up. I bring in one leg up to that arch. And then feeling how I roll down. That's all you need to do. The forward worm can be a little bit harder to get your head around. It's that same motion. Instead of just going up and back, you want to bring your feet up first, and then they hit the ground first so you can roll down to your front, which can be confusing. So what it should be like is that. So this is harder to break it down, but when you go feet up, and as they come up, you want to try and bring them as close to your hands as possible. It's like a pull and it's a push down and a pull in with your hands. Sometimes it's easier to start with your head up, and you can rock forward, and that's going to give you that momentum to help push up and let your feet drive in. They can be tricky, but some people find them really easy and find backwards really hard. So it all depends on where you're at, basically, which is, I know, a cop-out answer for a lot in the circus, but it really, really does. It's not worth comparing yourself to how other people train for this. It's just where you're at and what your body is comfortable doing at the moment. Looking at the time. Alright, we're going to do a little bit of walks. And this is your movement challenge for the week. Take some videos, drop them on Instagram for us, send them to the Circus Hub community on the website. Because the challenge for you is to see what sort of Ministry of Silly Walks. Ask your parents what that's from. Talk about the Ministry of Silly Walks. See what craziness you can come up with. First challenge for you guys is going to be, I want you to see how you can walk where it's just your butt on the ground. Only your butt. And I had an initial one as a challenge I could drop for you guys to start with. So for that, if you've got an awesome pike, you might hold onto your toes. If you're not quite so awesome pike, but you're still feeling good about it, onto the backs of your knees. You know, roll onto one butt cheek, put the other one forward, roll onto the other butt cheek, walk that forwards. And it's like you're doing this slow motion bicycle. It doesn't get you anywhere fast, true, but it kind of looks funny. You try doing it backwards as well. It's actually quite hard. That's something else. The other one is, we can all do bear walks, right? Bear walks are, you are there for bear walks for days. You are the king or queen of bear walks. However, have you tried bear walks at 45 degrees? You need a wall for this. So you start in your normal bear walk shape, then you're going to bring one leg and one hand onto the wall. And you walk. And then you turn around. One hand on the wall, one hand and foot on the other wall. And you walk. And again, if you have a longer walk, it gets so much better. But those are two ideas that you guys started. Try them on your own. Try combining them somehow. I don't know how you would, but give it a go. Take a video, drop it on the Instagram, hashtag Circus Hub community, drop it on the website. I want to see what weirdness you guys have. That'd be really cool. So those are my two. You've got a bum walk, you've got bear walks on the wall. Now you can grab some water. Remember, have lots of it. And then we can move into a little bit of juggling. Alright. So, to start with, I know a lot of you are already happy with your 3-ball juggle, but I want to go back to 1, and we just want to play with different kinds of throws. We all know our little rainbow throws. Make this little rainbow in front of you. You can catch it. We're here for this. I know we've worked on under the arms. Your hand comes under, throws the ball up to your other hand. And we've also done the reverse, where we throw over our arm and catch it by moving our hand over. And sometimes you throw it on the floor out of shot, but that is okay. Because we're all human and we're all allowed to make mistakes. So you can throw it over, and that can lead you into doing a nice little figure of 8. And that's pretty good, but we've also done that. We've also played with, I feel like, going under the leg, which is the same as going down. So your hand crosses over, under, and then throws up. And you can do your figure of 8s under the leg. If you have a big old basketball, you look like the red basketball players doing. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. But you can also do the same thing. You can throw over and catch under your leg, which is another way to play. But the bigger one I wanted to have a quick look at today was over the shoulder. The trick with that, as far as I've understood it when I was learning this, is it's not directly over, otherwise you'll hit someone in the head, but it's really common just to end up throwing it straight sideways. So my hand doesn't want to go here. When I throw, I want it to come up just underneath my shoulder blade, and that's where I'm going to let it release. And then it just rolls just over. It doesn't want to go out to the side, because that's going to get wider and wider the more panicked and stressed I get as I start juggling more and more balls. But it doesn't want to be super high, it doesn't want to be too far over in case it hits you on the back of the head. It's just this nice, oh, you guys saw how I went to the side? I didn't let it go here, not here. So it really needs to be that nice and high. You guys, again, maybe this is just me, but if you ever had chicken wings done when you were in school, you're like this. It's that kind of throw, so it's up and up. So it just comes up and just touches just underneath your shoulder blade. Because then you can put all that into a little sequence, can't you? You do your figure of 8s to under the legs, to under the arm, behind the back, and to under the arm, over the arm, behind the back. Under the arm, over the arm, into the wall. You know, it's a work in progress. That's something interesting to try and play with. I've not yet tried, but we could try going back over the shoulder. It's harder than it looks, folks. But it's something to try. The way you're going to get anywhere with juggling is by trying. You try a lot before you succeed. You could try it many other ways. You can try catching in both hands, sure, you can try throwing in both hands, but you can also try catching with 2 or more other body parts. So you can catch both wrists, see if you can catch the ball in between your wrists. See if it keeps rolling out like mine does. You could try it in your elbows. Working both sides. Something to play with, to see where else you can catch the ball and see what sort of patterns that's going to lead you to. Whether you go for a wrist, which leads you into an elbow, which maybe rolls to an over the shoulder, you know. Something different to play with and just try with your one ball juggling. Because one ball juggling can get really complicated and really cool really quickly. A lot of people write it off, but I like my one ball juggling. Okay, turn to time. We have a brief look at 3 ball juggling for those of you who are more interested in your cascades. It's not going to be crazy long, we're going to do a little bit of it. And that's if you've got your cascade or you keep stopping. If you're going 1, 2, 3, and you just can't throw that ball again. So you get your one run through, but you have to keep stopping. Don't die on me, computer. Don't die on me. That's fine, but the trick to end up building into your continuous run of cascades is to get over that idea that you've stopped or you've finished. And a lot of what that's going to be is, I want you to say, go 1, 2, 3, throw, throw, throw. And getting used to the idea that you can drop. Dropping in juggling is pretty common. Like, it's half of what juggling is. The other half is picking it back up and having another go. But going 1, 2, 3, and instead of stopping, I want you to 1, 2, 3, throw. And don't even try and catch. Just getting used to the idea that you can just keep that idea of throws going. Beyond that, I know we touched on tennis and everything last time, But for those of you who are starting to get your tennis, you can do, I'm fairly certain there's an actual technical juggling term for this. So Michael O'Connor, if you're not watching this, please tell me what it is. But I know it as under tennis. So you're doing your regular juggle, and instead of going over, you're just going to have one hand that keeps coming underneath the arms. So in this case, it's going to be the white juggling ball, but it keeps going under the arm. Whereas if I was doing normal tennis, it goes over. And the idea is that it's coming under and over. And that just comes out of learning your one ball throws, doesn't it? Under here, and also doing your nice big rainbow. So the last little juggling thing I want to leave with you, because I know for a fact we have some kids at the hub who are pretty top quality jugglers. So my challenge for you is to put tennis and under tennis together, which makes this nice circle pattern. So you still focus on one ball. For that, it's just going to be the white ball. It's going over like we would for tennis, and then once it's here, it's going to be going under like I would for under tennis. I know I'm kind of rushing through this a little bit, but I want to give you guys something to play with, because you can always watch this video again later. So it goes over, it drops, which is okay, but it goes over and under. And it keeps making this kind of circle, just with that white ball. We're rapidly running out of time, which is a little bit of an issue. But that's most lesson. We're going to do a little bit of a stretch down, don't worry. We're always going to do a bit of stretch down, never worry about that. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Watch it back again. I know I glossed over the juggling stuff. We're going to go, again, even better over that a little bit more next week. If there's anything you desperately do want to learn, drop me a line. Send it to the hub and be like, hey, Aidin, teach us this in Kids Circus, and I will see if I can, depending on space and where everybody's at. But, we've got Zoom classes coming up as well, so if you want actual feedback from a teacher, you want to be at the same call on teacher and be like, hey, I am having trouble with my juggling and I can't figure out why, and I just need someone to tell me what's going on. Hit up one of our Zoom classes. A whole bunch of trainers are going to be doing them. It's going to be really, really awesome. It'll be really cool to see you guys again as well. So, yeah, do that. That's it. We're going to do a little bit of stretching now. Focusing on our splits, because, oh man, splits are so useful. I really wish I'd stretched so much more splits as a kid. That's not even a joke. I honestly really wish I did. So, we're going to start off in our little 90-90 lunge. So we've got our ankle directly under our knee, which leads to our hip, which is directly over our other knee. You're going to take your hips, and it's like you're doing your handstands, that tuck under. So you've got that little bit of a stretch hanging down here. If you need a little bit more, you can push away. But the main thing is you're trying to round and tuck your hips under. That's what's going to give you this. It's not a lean forward. It's just staying here, and it's that tuck under. It can be a little bit fiddly to find sometimes. I'm just going to chill out here, getting used to it. No one sent me any jokes from last week. I was kind of hoping someone would. I've been running out, you see. Really get your brain into here, really start to feel what's going to loosen up. Just constantly that tuck under. There's just lovely little stretch down here, which is pretty important to have for splits. And while we're here, we keep thinking about our square hips as well. So we're not opening out. It's going to be those two little flashlights straight to our hips, and they're always shining forward, because that's where we want to go, right? We always want to go forwards, not backwards. Unless you've forgotten something, in which case go backwards and get them, but mostly always looking forwards. We're going to straighten our front leg, keeping our hip where it is so we're not poking backwards. We're just going to lean forwards. Keeping that leg straight, hips are square, and if you can get as low down as you can, but you're trying to pull your belly button down. So you're not just curving down, you're really, really trying to keep a flat back, leaning forward on that one. Pointed toes, because, why not? We're going to be talking to you guys about pointed toes when hub classes resume, so just do your pointed toes now. We can just hang out here for a little bit. Really trying to keep our back nice and flat. I know mine looks round. I'm not the best at splits. I do apologise. But I'm getting there. Hanging out here. From here, we're now going to push into whatever split you're currently at. So really, really focus on our hips staying square. Try not to open out to the side. Everything stays nice and pushed in. So it's trying to pull this back hip forward and pushing that front hip back a little bit. Just hanging out here for a little bit. Thinking of your best jokes about splits. Just because I need more splits jokes, you can tell I'm really struggling. And then for our last 10 seconds, we're going to try and have our hands off the ground. For 10, 9, 8, make sure your hips are still square. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So we're going to do the other leg, because you've got a whole nother leg, presumably. So again, knee above ankle, hip above knee, and you do that same tuck under, get under, a little bit of push back if you need to. You're starting to feel that stretch through your thigh, where your